Happy New Year. It is 2023 and the kitchen vibes are happening already. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had an awesome holiday and a very happy New Year so far. If you're watching the replay, thanks so much. We're going to jump into the content in just 1 second, talk about kitchen planning. And if you want to skip through all this, I will put a chapter that you can just jump to. But for everyone who's watching live, we're just going to take a few minutes to say hello. And I hope that you all had an awesome holidays and, like I said, a good New Year so far. And if you're tuning in, thanks so much. Make sure, like I said, always put a hi in the chat and tell me where you're from. Yeah, I'd love to hear all that kind of stuff. Yes, I had a great time away with my family in Orlando over Christmas. It was an awesome trip, and we would definitely do it again, despite when we got there, it was colder than it was here in Eastern Canada. That being said, it warmed up very quickly, and we got the party started there pretty quickly. Well, in fact, even at -1, I refused to wear pants, so I just wore my shorts regardless, and we went shopping and did all that kind of stuff. Even hit the pool on Christmas Eve at like 32 degrees, whatever it was. So lots of fun for us, and it was a great break. Never looked at YouTube the whole time, which was amazing because normally I'm just obsessed. And yeah, so back and refreshed and ready for this year to get rolling. So first live stream of 2023. Here we are. I feel terribly unprepared, but we're going to chat about some kitchen planning for a little bit. Yeah, I hope, like I said, everyone had a great time. I put a poll that asking you if you're going to renovate your kitchen this year, and if you are, let me know in the poll. Yes, no, or oh, how I wish. Oh, how I wish is pretty popular, but we have a few saying already that they are going to be renovating their kitchen this coming year. So that's exciting. Maybe you've already renovated your kitchen. Maybe it's not in the plan for a little while yet, or possibly you're building a new home in the future. That counts as well. But if you are renovating your kitchen, I hope that my channel can be valuable to you as you attempt to go through the rigmarole of what that will entail. So thumbs up. Let me know in the comments of any video if you have any questions, or email me. I love to chat about it. And I've been getting pictures of past clients, numerous pictures actually, over the last little while from people who have helped do designs for and kitchen designs. It's so cool to see the finished product of something that I had a help in planning and designing. So it's really cool to see those things. And hopefully in the future, I'll put something together where I can share some of those things for everyone to see. And that'll be awesome. But if you are planning a kitchen renovation, there are 6 things I want to talk about tonight. 6 planning tips. I think they're planning tips. It's important that you plan properly to do this. And some of these are maybe some are lesser talked about. Maybe some are just maybe 1 or 2 are just things that come into my brain, and I just put them on a slide, and we'll talk about it. So, all right, very good. Oh, I see some people saying, "Oh, I'll be sending updated pics." Cool. Yes, please do. I love updated pics. Phil is here. Hi, Phil. I hear lizards fall out of trees when it gets too cold in Florida. Well, I didn't see any lizards falling out of trees. I did see some lizards. And we didn't feed any alligators, but I seen some alligators, baby ones, at a mini putt place. It's so fun. Like where I live, if I don't even know if there is a mini putt, there's nothing really around here, but if there was, it'd just be mini putt. But in Orlando, it's like you can't have mini putt without some other type of terrifying thing. So like alligators, but they were babies. Jackson, Boston, cool. Awesome. I have had family in Boston at some point in my life, I know. Very cool. Thanks for tuning in. Just looking through everybody here. Hey, PD, you're gonna I just don't know my flags of the world, but it looks like Brazil. But let me know if I just botched that completely. But thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you. Laura's here from Indianapolis. Very cool. And my camera's been wigging out. You can see that doing it now. And if it goes bad, just bear with me. I might have to switch to my FaceTime camera, which looks horrible, but anyway. Hey, we got a thumbs up from Gammy too. Awesome. Cool. Very cool. Alan's back. Hey, Alan. Thanks for jumping on. Happy New Year. Oh, Jamaica. My bad. Now I know. So I appreciate you didn't jump off because I got that wrong. But appreciate. Awesome. So cool. Thanks so much. And yeah, Alan, we're back. We're back. It's time for 2023 content. This camera is going to drive me insane. Anyway, I'll try to deal with this as I go. Maybe I'll switch it. I'm going to touch a button here and it might just totally ruin everything. But stay where you're put and I will get back. You'll still be able to hear me even if the camera goes out. So that's fine. And if that happens, I'll just put up my first slide and we'll just talk about it while I fix the camera. How's that? Hey, Jackie's back. Hey, say hi to Jackie, everyone. My very faithful moderator and good friend. Cheers to 2023. Okay, I think the camera is not wigging out anymore. Okay, so let's talk about some kitchen planning. These aren't guidelines. These are just ideas that I had that you should take seriously, I think, when you're planning a kitchen. Now, the first one is this. We'll just bring them up here as we go. These are no particular order, okay? Plan and design considering the user's height and abilities. This kind of comes from the NKBA kitchen planning guideline book where they're talking about microwave height. And one of the questions I was asked earlier in the week via email or a comment was about a builder had built the kitchen and the microwave was very high for the client. The builder said it couldn't be changed. It was a double oven with a microwave above. It's quite high. That would be higher than probably an OTR, like that type of height. So higher than that even still. And the builder said it couldn't be changed. And they were looking for me for some advice and you know what they could do. I mean, in my opinion, anything can be changed. So I don't like when I hear that. But when I was looking in the guidelines to get some information correct, it just said this very plainly. So this isn't even from my brain. This is actually from the guidelines book, which I thought was really, really good for them to have in there. And that's to plan. In particular, it was to plan for the microwave height, considering the abilities and the height of the user. That being said, this goes for everything in the kitchen. A good planning strategy for your kitchen is to not only just make it look amazing, but it should function for you, the end user. And we talked about that before. Man, this camera is just going. Okay, hold on. Let me just pause. I just do this. Watch this. No, that's not it. There we go. Okay, bear with me. Oh, my camera's completely gone. Anyway, you should be planning. I'm gonna move around here a little bit while I try to fix my camera. But oh, this is so stupid. Oh, that's my FaceTime camera. All right, this looks horrible. It's like looking up my nose. Listen now, bear with me for a second while I try to do something here. Try to make this work. But just think about planning ahead for your abilities. You're not just planning a kitchen renovation. Yeah, let's just do this. Heck with you. I'll get rid of you. Okay. I'm gonna just moving this. I know you can all still hear me, so it's okay. I'm still here. I'm gonna try to move this monitor. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Okay. Go with the monitor. Put this over here. What's happening is I have this problem with a cord, and the cord causes my it's like the connection. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, this will be fine. This will be fine, folks. A little different view here, but what's the difference here? Let's see how this looks. Bam. There you go. I'm a little glossy, but you know, whatever. There. I can see. It's all good. We're back. All right. It's like kind of blurry, isn't it? Maybe it's like I gotta clean it. There, how's that? Oh, jeez. Okay, let's get serious before you all just leave. Anyway, hopefully that's clear enough. Listen, plan for your height and ability and the way that you want to use the kitchen. So That's really sound advice and something that should be taken seriously. And not only with the height of the microwave. In particular, this particular person was 5'3", and so having a microwave that's very high in the air is just not going to be conducive for them to use. So that has to be considered by the person who's designing the kitchen and by you, the homeowner, and by just the planning strategy. The thing is that a lot of times in these builder grade homes, those things aren't considered. They are just put in there, and whoever buys the house buys the house, and there's nothing that can really be done about that. But if having it at a high height is good for you, or having it at a low height, or having it on a countertop, or having it above your range, whatever the case may be, make sure that you plan out that so that it works for your abilities. That goes for your placement of your sink and your dishwasher and your oven and your fridge and all the other things that you use, and especially for things that you access every single day that are important. So make sure that you plan that out ahead and don't skip that step. Good. I hope so, because this FaceTime camera is messing me up. Let's go to the next one, shall we? Hope everyone's cool with that. You can see that sunburn. I'm getting a sunburn from this light. I did get a little bit of sun, actually, which helps. I'm just in the wintertime, I'm just so white. So it's nice to get some sun on my skin. Thanks, Mom. Oh my gosh. Anyway, a little rustic looking. Okay, listen, that's not about my skin. Look at the reflection there. I'll sit back a little bit. There you go. Here's the next one. Consider a wall oven. Just consider it. You might not have room for it, but if you do, if you have an extra 30 inches of space that is going to be something else, maybe consider using a wall oven for in your kitchen and putting in a cooktop. Wall ovens are very conducive to usability. How do you like that string of words? Very functional. And so it eliminates you from having to bend over too much, especially if you use that oven quite often, or if you cook a lot with that oven, you're taking things out. This can be very helpful. I know even for myself, we have one of those double ovens with so the top one's smaller and there's a bottom lower oven. It's just a standard like range, but it has the two ovens. And I find that the top oven is the one we use the most because usually most things one fit in there unless we're cooking something big like a turkey or something like that. But in any case, the top one is so convenient because you don't have to bend over as far, pulling things out and whatnot. So something that you should think about, at least consider that option when you're planning a kitchen. I know my mother's probably going like to me on the screen right now, but anyway, it's just that's just something that should be considered as you are planning that stage of your design. And it's not always possible, but and I hear you. Just one more appliance. It's yeah, it is, but you should still consider it. Should consider. Whether or not it's a good idea for you and whether or not purchasing another appliance is a good idea. And that's all I'm saying. It is not the best solution for every kitchen, but it could be a good solution for you. And if you never consider it, never think about it, you might miss out on the usability of what that looks like. Uh, so it's good to do that. Okay, next one is this one. Oh, this is plan your kitchen first. And I've talked about this lots of times, especially this is more to do with if you are a new home owner or a new builder, or even with a complete renovation where you're tying it into other rooms, but really consider planning out that kitchen design first. And this comes up time and time again for me. It comes up often. So I like to put it in here to remind people who maybe have never seen any of my videos or have never heard me say this. When you're planning your kitchen for a new build, make sure that you plan that kitchen, design that kitchen first, and then design the rest of the house around that kitchen. If the kitchen is an important room for you, if it's just another room you don't care about and it can be designed however, obviously this isn't for you. But if the kitchen needs to be specific and you want it to look a certain way, then design that. Because what happens and what has happened recently, and it happens over and over and over again, is I get clients who say, here's the drawings, here's all the stuff, here's what I want. And the two things just don't mesh together. The kitchen that's in the plan that they didn't have a say in isn't conducive to what they want and how they want to live and the usability and the height and all that stuff that we already talked about. So I really, really, really recommend to sit down with a designer, plan out a kitchen that you love, that you could put in any house, and then go to the builder, go to the architect, go to whomever and say, this is we want this kind of house, but here's the kitchen we want, and they can just plug that in. It's super easy, and it's much easier to do it that way, and probably a lot less money to do it that way than to go back and back again to the architect or the draftsman to redraw all the plans to fit around a kitchen that you're changing and changing and changing. And then eventually maybe you just get stuck with whatever has to be, has to be. And this, I can't tell you how many times this comes up for me. Just this week, getting back in my emails with new clients, this has come up, and even numerous times over the past year. And in the past, just so many times. So plan that kitchen, make sure you get it exactly how you want. Now, for those of us who will be renovating, then of course, maybe the walls are the walls, and you can't change a whole lot of things. And in that case, you're planning your kitchen for function, but you can't obviously design your house all around your kitchen that you want to renovate. But in the case of those who are building, this is definitely something to consider. What's next? Here's the next one. Get multiple layouts. Getting multiple layouts is like brainstorming. You'll end up with better ideas. So I mentioned this a lot too, but again, I want to reiterate this: when you're planning your kitchen, make sure that you get a bunch of different layouts. And as I said, like brainstorming, it just brings out some of the better ideas. And so, if you know what brainstorming is basically just thinking a bunch of ideas, even if they don't make sense, writing them all down, and then seeing which ones, let the cream rise to the top, as they say. So this is something that's really important to do with kitchen design, but is not often thought of. A lot of times what happens is you go to wherever and you just get a design, and then you can get changes made and you can make alterations. But oftentimes there's totally like two different ways or three or four different ways to design a kitchen. And until you see some of those things, you don't know what's possible. And I think it's important to know at least what's possible, and to know what's not possible, and to narrow down those ideas so that you can just get the best kitchen for your space, and for you, the homeowner. And so that's a real pro tip. And I think it's at least worth getting two layouts for every space, just to see as many possibilities as you can. You can think, well, there's only so many possibilities. My range can only go here because I'm not moving any electrical, and my fridge can only go here because of such and such a reason. Fine, that might be the case, but it doesn't cost hardly anything to move those things around on a computer screen to see what it could look like in other places, if the possibility arose that I actually can move that electrical. Oftentimes, you, the homeowner, you don't know that. You might assume that. In fact, I had an email this week who said the stove has to go here because that's where the plug is. Well, the plug can be moved. I mean, that's not that difficult. It got there, so it can go somewhere else, and that's something that should be looked at. So get multiple layouts. It's like brainstorming for your kitchen, and you want to get the best kitchen possible. So that's what that's all about. And hey, you know what? The first design might be the best. So there you go. Here's a good comment. Having our design first helped us be better able to get bids on our renovation project that we were comparable, as opposed to apples to oranges, which can happen very easily. Kitchens are not all the same. So that's a really good point. There you go. All right, here's the next one. Island seating isn't as awesome as you think. So don't worry about it if you can't have it. I say this because I hear oftentimes, a lot of times, I definitely just I want to squeeze an island in there and hopefully have some seating. That's never a good sound to me. The sound of squeezing an island in with seating. I don't like the sound of that. Island seating isn't that comfortable. I've had islands with seating, and honestly, sitting there, unless it's done in a particular way, your knees are just jammed up. It's just, I've never sat in a comfortable bar stool. I don't know. You can fight me on this one. I'm fine with that. But I don't think it's something that you should fight tooth and nail about having. I would prefer just having a big island with extra storage as opposed to even having seating in the island. People say, well, we're going to we're going to I want to have people sit around as I cook and stuff. But really, do you? I don't know. I don't. How often are people sitting around while you're cooking? I mean, you have to just think about that. Maybe every day for you, but for me and for a lot of people that I know, you know, people aren't really sitting there. The 1 or 2 times a year that you have company over while you're cooking, I mean, just get a pizza for that day, you know? Don't worry about it. And then go sit in the living room where it's comfortable instead of at your island with your knees jammed up against the back panel or you bang your knee on a knee bracket. So, you know, take that one as you may. Now, if you have island seating, which if you have a kitchen with an island, you probably do. I'm not against it by any means. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, obviously, but I just don't think it's something that if you don't have, you should be like, oh, I wish I had island seating in this new kitchen and I can't fit it. I think it's important that you have an island if you can fit one. And if you can have really deep overhang, that may be a different story. But just having 15 inches and letting your knees bang into the back panel, those days should be gone. So take that with a grain of salt, but I think it's something to think about while you're planning your kitchen renovation, whether or not you want to have island with seating, and then how much space it takes up, how much walking and clearance room, and what you're losing compared to if you had storage, you can still have the extra depth on the countertop. Something to consider. You never thought I'd say that, did you? I know everyone's like, what? No seating on the island. I'm going to hear about this. I know it. Let's go to the next one. I think this is the last one. Well, here we go. Prioritize counter space. It's harder to come by than storage. There's always this balance in a kitchen design, and for me, a designer. Here, let me just go this way a little bit. There we go. It's a little better. Staring at my nose. There's always this balance when you're designing a kitchen, especially if space is at a premium or it's a smaller kitchen, that you can hold on there just 1 second. Let me just pause and just go to this comment. I mainly want island seating for the kids because they're so messy sometimes. I will say having island seating for the kids was great for us, and so for that reason, it can be really good. And so, I don't. That's why I don't necessarily. I'm not against island seating. We had it for the kids, and it was only the kids that sat there because they're the only ones that had small enough legs that could fit. And it was good for them. So good point. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm just talking about for the sake of company. If you're renovating your kitchen, don't put in island seating for them. Let them go home. All right, let's go back to prioritizing your counter space. Here's my thought about this. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. I don't know if I am. I just kind of talking out this idea as we go. When you're designing a kitchen, there's this balance. The balance is if I need so much counter space and I need so much storage, and where do I steal from to get more of one or the other? And I always say you can always find storage because storage can be vertical and horizontal, but you can't always find counter space because it's just on one plane. And so if it comes down to it, always try to prioritize counter space if it's something you need more of. So if you need a little bit more landing area or if you need a little bit more counter space for whatever reason, and you're worried about the loss of storage from a cabinet that could be there, I think that I think you can find storage in other places if you're creative, but you can't find counter space in other places because it's just here. So think through that. I'm still thinking through that as an idea, but I think it's important to think about that. If I can go vertical with storage, I can go down below with storage as long as I have ways to access those things. But countertop is countertop, and I can't get any more of it, generally speaking. So something to consider, and that to me most of the complaints that I get from clients are I don't have enough counter space, or like my counter space is all cluttered. So you kind of have this twofold problem where your counter space is cluttered because one, there's not enough of it, and maybe two, because you don't have enough storage, right? So again, it's just this play with the balance of those two things that you want to get right, and it's going to be different for everybody. Not everyone's going to need extra counter space, um, and maybe you need more places for appliances and small appliances and things to be stored. I just think overall, counter space is generally the thing that most people lack, and when it comes to storage, they're just not good at it, and so it's everything's a mess. And a little bit of decluttering and organizing would probably solve their problems, but you're not going to solve not having enough counter space. That's my brains on that one, and so I like it. Gretchen, hey, I'm doing a wall of shallow depth bases and uppers, I like it, and opted to do a break for counter space to make a charging station zone that isn't press space. Cool. I like it. I like that idea. I love shallow depth wall of cabinets. I do that a lot for clients as well. I think it's really good. Floor to ceiling. Yeah. You can just stack them, which is really cool with IKEA. What you can do with any cabinets, really. But that's a really great thing. I like it. You got my approval. Not that you're asking or need it, but I do like that. Hey, Karen, exciting news. Our new kitchen is done. Woot, woot. All right, awesome. I have a garbage disposal, water and ice dispenser, and built-in dishwasher for the first time in 20 years. Congratulations. That is awesome. Please send me some pictures. I'd love to see it. I love it. Hey, Sarah. No worries. I don't know what darning is, but I know what sewing is. But I'm glad that you're here. Jeff Patterson, hey man. Oh, so cool that you're on. How's it going? Wow. Let's do it. Hit me up, email me, or come and see me if you're in the Cape. So cool that you're on. Wow. Awesome. I love it. It's so cool when people I know act like I know some of you, but some people I actually know pop in. So that's really nice. Appreciate you being on, man. So yeah, prioritize some counter space, and you'd be good to go. Gretchen saying, I've gotten a ton of ideas from your channel. My IKEA delivery is this week and the bill is in March. Awesome. That is the number one reason why I do this. Well, I do this for two reasons. Let's not get carried away. One is to provide content that you'll find helpful and useful, and the other is to get clients to do kitchen designs for. So that's the twofold reasons. But that's awesome. I'm so glad. I love it when people get value out of a video. Something that happens to socks. I don't know anything. This is out of context, but I don't know what you're talking about. Was that the last one? Prioritizing counter space. Yeah, I just got a blank white screen. There you go. Those are my very important kitchen planning strategies that you should be thinking of. The other thing you should do if you're a new home kitchen renovator, or any kind of kitchen renovation is happening, is actually grab the NKBA kitchen planning guide and kind of have a look through. You get some ideas about what things should be. And yes, there are professionals that also should know those things. But if that's something you're interested in, I suggest you go and find that online and and read through it. Oh, darning happens to socks. Is that like, you mean you're sewing socks? Oh, you're sewing up holes in socks. And Phil just says, I love socks. Well, that's great. Oh no, you learn something new all the time. I have my favorite Minion socks. Why do I love you guys so much? Oh my goodness. We are assembling ourselves, have a builder doing the big stuff. Awesome. That's a good way to do it because IKEA cabinets are very accessible, not that difficult to install, or not that difficult to assemble. And doing the installation hopefully they're doing that, because I always recommend getting a professional installer to do the installation. Um, because I think it's just the best way to go. Darn socks. That's the best comment right there. Thank you, Paula. My goodness. I have 55 IKEA boxes sitting here as I type, contemplating starting the job. Hi from Sydney, Australia. Cool. Well, technically, I'm from Sydney, Nova Scotia. So, hi from Sydney to Sydney. Very cool. I mean, if you're going to mail me something, that would be where you'd mail it to. Love it. So cool, Brent. Thanks so much for being on. 55 IKEA boxes sounds like a ton of fun. I hope you get through it. Do one at a time. Don't open everything and have them all spilled out all over the place. It'd be overwhelmed. So cool. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to see. All right. So there was sock mafia. How did this turn into socks when we're talking about kitchen planning? But you know what? It is what it is. This is the live stream, so this is how it goes. And someone commented on a live stream, like a past live stream, and was like, "There's just get to the point. There's so much talking." And I was like, "No, this is what it is. It's all, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch." But it's just hanging out with all my kitchen friends. And this is what happens at the end of the content. I don't have because tonight I don't have a whole lot of stuff to talk about. So we'll just chat for a bit because it's New Year's, don't worry about it. Semi-handmade. I was going to do IKEA cabinets, but even the semi-handmade doors, they just don't look custom. Yeah. I haven't seen all of those doors, but I do know a lot of people use semi-handmade and other products like them who make for doors for IKEA and panels and whatnot. But if you're looking for something custom, then you're probably going to want to not go with something that's ready to assemble. So do it, Jeff. Just send it to right there, buddy. I'd love to have a look. Yeah, we can chat for sure, man. Love it, love it. Are you sunburned? Well, no, I'm not. It's just the glare of this FaceTime camera that I had to use tonight because of technical difficulties. But I did get some sun. I can't show you any tan lines, Darlene, if that's what you're asking, okay? But I definitely got a little bit of sun, and it was so good. We were delayed getting home, and Amy was like, I hope it gets delayed by like a week. That would be awesome. So it took 2 days for the IKEA people to put our kitchen together. Well, there you go. It does take time. I mean, assembling these cabinets, there's so many parts to them. It can be very challenging sometimes. So just take your time and do it. It's all good. I've done them before, and they do take time. I like the IKEA YouTube assembly videos shows the bombshell blonde assembling in 3 minutes. Well, she's a pro. I'd love custom cabinets, but my wallet said no. You know what? That's okay. You can make IKEA look really nice, or other ready to assemble or pre-built type of cabinets. They don't have to be custom all the time, though. Somebody was commenting on my channel recently, and I eventually just blocked them and banned them because, if you're just going to be negative and criticizing, then I don't have time for that. So if you're going to, actually help me with useful information or correct me when I'm wrong, that's fine. But just being dumb doesn't help anyone. So anyways, the thing that they were talking about was, you don't buy cabinets, you build them. So basically, if they're not custom built, then you're an idiot. And I just thought that's not that smart, because even if they're custom built, someone still has to buy them. So what are you talking about? Anyway, I guess I don't have time for that stuff. I'll send you a picture, Phil. Just for you. Oh my goodness. We've assembled a lot of IKEA kitchens, but this is our first, not to worry about that part. Oh, awesome. Oh, first kitchen, right. No, they're not that hard. First thing you do, throw out the directions, dump all the parts on the floor, and just start digging in, and maybe have a sip of coffee or something. I don't know. Talk to Phil about that. There's a few websites that cater custom. Oh, customized IKEA. There's probably some YouTube channels that are more into that as well. I just don't follow them or know them. Yeah, it is possible. So, custom door fronts. Yeah, it is actually. A door is a door. So basically, a cabinet door, as long as you know the size that it needs to be made to, then you can have anybody build you that door. You can go to your local custom shop. You can go. I could go to a cabinet maker. He can make me a door as long as you know the spacing for the holes for the hardware, for the assembly of the hardware. Easily can be done. So it's totally doable. And that's why there's companies out there like Semi Handmade and a whole bunch of other ones that make those type of things. So as long as you know the door sizes, away you go. So completely possible. Yes. Darlene's saying we had our cabinets custom built with extra sturdy bottoms to the drawers. That's a good point there. Sometimes you get a thin 1/4 inch panel. Sometimes it's even masonite. And so what Darlene did was, and her kitchen is custom, but you can have those reinforced. You could probably reinforce any drawer, and for that matter, and especially if you're thinking of drawers that have, like one of our drawers has all our plates and our bowls, and so it's quite heavy, and so having that reinforced is a good idea. I love going through all the comments, everyone. So hope you don't mind. I have nothing else to chat about, so we're just going to look through this. If you have a question that you want to ask, please do so, and we'll answer. And we'll just chat for a few minutes. Updated my kitchen due to termite damage. Ooh, but I'm still trying to decide what material to use for my kitchen to minimize termite entry. That is a really good question that I don't have a good answer for, unfortunately. What material can you use for that? Like, so I'll tell you something about termites. We don't have them where I live. And so I don't have to ever deal with them. And so they don't come up a whole lot. So if somebody knows a good idea for that, let us know in the comments. I'm thinking, I don't know if termites do they just prefer plywood, wood, or do they go for particle core? Like fiberboard or anything like that? Let me know. Let somebody know. It's a really good question. Thanks for that. I'm glad that you stumped me. Hey, Mike. It's not really. I think it's just the glare from my camera. Okay, we've been through this already, but yeah. I mean, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, it's a 10. All right. I'll see you soon, buddy. Okay, Curtis, we almost finished our kitchen renovation. Just waiting for finished panels and no corner cabinet. I love it. I love hearing there's no corner cabinet because it's just the bane of my existence. No, they can be okay, of course, but when you can get rid of them, why not get rid of them, right? Concrete frame is an option. There you go. Mike, hear that? Mike, where are you, bud? Hear that? Concrete frame. Mike, you sent me a picture of concrete cabinets. Remember those? I wish I had that picture right close and handy. But yeah, concrete frames are an option. Thanks. That's a really good idea. Barb sent me pictures of her kitchen, and it looks incredible. Very, very nice. My room picture playing a bit of a bad drawer fronts for me. Yeah. Super easy way to save some money. Just repainting and resurfacing things. That's definitely a way to do it. But Barb's new kitchen looks great. Mark, is it still true that a kitchen remodel should be 10% of the home value? It seems local pricing for small remodel is average 55K USD. Makes me want to move instead. 10%. 10% seems a little bit low in the current situation I think that we're in, but it's close to that, I would say. $55,000 for an average remodel is pretty good, honestly. So yeah, it does make you want to move. I know we're at least, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know what the interest rates are in the U.S. For housing right now, but on mortgages here in Canada, it's ridiculous. So I don't know if it's over 6%, but 10% of your home value is 10 to 15%. I think is a good way to go. That's a good question too. Be careful with all this cabinet talk. We'll end up in a plowed versus MDF debate. Well, it's not an MDF debate. It's a particle core debate. And yes, we will get into a debate about this because I'm not getting into it. Just get plywood. Oh, you can get some metal cabinets. That's another good one. Yeah, you can still get metal cabinets. Cement board will thwart termites. That's a good one. Okay. So we have some good answers. Nice. I've mapped out where I want to store all the things. Good idea. Awesome. I have, but not sure what to use over my fridge cabinet. Going from 3 cabinets to 13. Wow. Well, you're really upgrading. You're going to love it. Over your fridge, there's a couple ideas that you can do. You can try to get a pull-down unit for over your fridge. They're very expensive, which is relative, but it's a great way to just be able to pull down the things. They're made for over a fridge cabinet, so that they come out to pass the fridge. Of course, you have to make sure it's all spec'd properly to clear your fridge door. That's one thing you can do. We've shown pictures, and I've done it before, where we do vertical tray dividers over a fridge. Yeah, that's another option. There's also units that attach to the door that kind of pull out, so that they kind of look like a lazy Susan almost, but they fit in the cabinet. They pull out with the door as a way to just access stuff instead of you digging in. And the worst case scenario is you're gonna have to get up on a chair and reach in the back for the punch bowl you need once a year, and that's the worst case scenario. So, but if you can look for one of those units that pull down, that's a really good way to do it. And yes, they take up space, but they make the space more usable. So, oh wow, I got a quote for 42-inch metal deal. They quoted me 7,000. Yikes, that's a lot. Here we go. Hey, Mark. Termites love damp wood. Good exterminator can treat the area while it is open. That's another thing you can do, is get a exterminator in there. Want to know a fun fact? Only a couple people know this. Mike knows this, and my parents, of course. I did a stint as an exterminator. Maybe y'all know that. I don't know. Did I ever share that before? But because we don't have termites where I live, I never had to deal with them. So, right there you go. Why did I do a stint as a exterminator? That's for another day. You can have my 1954 metal cabinets. That's what's coming out of the kitchen. There you go. Problem solved. Metal framework is also an option. Yeah, there you go. Oh, nowhere close to 10% of the home values, and we lived in a nice neighborhood. See, it depends on the kitchen, like what's going into it. A kitchen, you can have the exact same layout of a kitchen and basically this exact same function. It can look almost identical, and one kitchen can be easily $20,000 more than another, just depending on the finishes that you use. So it can be kind of tricky to get that right. So if 55,000 is too high, that could be, what's the countertop? What are the cabinets made out of? What kind of doors are there? Are they painted? Are they thermofoil? Um, there's a lot of different things. What are the drawer systems? Are they Bloom tandem, Legro, full extension, nuclear bombshell type things, or are they standard meta box type drawers? So there's so many different variables that can go into it that they can drastically change the pricing. So something to just think about and consider. Fire Marshal Mark, what? Okay, I don't know. Is inset cabinets worth the extra expense? Hi, Maureen. Um, Depends on how much. I don't think so. That to me is like one of those, do you like the look of it? It's not adding any function. It's not adding any other value other than it looks really nice. Um, you know, it's a nice sleek look. I can't say that I would say it's adding anything other than like the look. So, which I really, really like, by the way. I think inset looks fabulous. Is it worth the extra expense? I guess it would depend on how much that percentage was to do an inset cabinet. But, you know, if I had extra to spend, I would probably go with an inset. I think they look fantastic. It's a little different than just the standard European style frameless cabinet that we just so inundated with over the last 20 years. So yeah, I think it's worth it if you can afford it. What kitchen elements are best to splurge on and which are okay to save on? Here's where we'll get into some arguments. um, well, I mean, get yourself some good appliances. But assuming we're not talking about appliances and we're just talking about the kitchen itself, um, and depending on in the future if you want to upgrade, I would say you want to make sure that your cabinets. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. You want to make sure that your cabinets are well constructed. Um, so that's something to consider. You want to make sure that your hardware is a very good quality. So if you're going to pay an upcharge or an upgrade for better quality hardware. By hardware, I mean drawer mechanisms, hinges, anything that's moving. The moving parts of your kitchen are the things that are going to wear out the quickest, and therefore you want them to be the best quality possible. So if you are, most custom places at least have options, and I would go with the best possible option that you can afford and splurge on that. Not as fancy. No one will really know, but your kitchen will last longer because of that moving part aspect to it. I would say that don't kill me on this one, but I think that it's okay to save on countertop material and plan on maybe upgrading that in the future. You can easily upgrade your countertop later, but it's much more difficult to put in beautiful countertop and then realize that you have to do something to your cabinet. So concentrate on quality cabinets if that's, I think that's what you should do. Quality hardware probably should be number one. Make sure that those things are taken care of. And then the maybe the bells and whistles, obviously you can save on. So if you're not gonna have glass or in a cabinet or in cabinet lighting, like I think that all those types of things can be added. I think you should put in good lighting. So I don't mean like under counter lighting and things like that. You should definitely have good lighting. So splurge there. But overall, like if you're like, well, I can't really afford, porcelain, maybe go with either an acrylic or think about maybe some kind of concrete material. Or you know what, like there's nothing wrong with laminate. They make really good post form. They have for years. And that could be a possibility with the intention of, hey, I'd like to get stone someday, and maybe that can be something we can do in a couple of years' time and save up for that. So, you know, that's one way to do it. Now, if you're like, I know there's people like, well, I definitely absolutely want quartz countertop. That's the number one thing I absolutely want. I don't care. Then that's fine. Splurge on that and get everything else that's cheaper, and you'll be happy. I mean, your cabinets will probably last a good long time, but if I'm just thinking of in terms of the best place to splurge, it's on those not so fancy items, in my opinion. But I will say this. Let me just throw this out there. Personally, okay? Personally, if I was going to splurge, it'd be on porcelain. Okay? I don't care about my drawers. Don't care about my drawer rails. Just give me some porcelain, I'll be happy. So everything I just said, I wouldn't even do. I'm just telling it for your sake. If you want your cabinets to last longer, make sure that those things are good quality. But if you want to just go buy some porcelain, go buy it, and that's where I would splurge. Sorry, Darlene. I know you love your laminate, as do I. But anyway. Oh my goodness, where are we at? Where are we all at? All right, lots. I'm missing comments, so my apologies if I miss you. Appreciate y'all, by the way. The poll is saying if you're planning a new kitchen this year, let me know. Yes, no, or oh, how I wish. And 56% are saying yeah, they're planning on a kitchen renovation this year. So that's out of 60 of you. So that's great. I hope I can help in some way, shape, or form, and I hope my channel helps you get the best kitchen possible. And of course, don't forget, if you do need me to help you design something, just go to www.mtkd.ca and we can work together possibly. All right, that's enough of that. Oh, what did Barbara splurge on? Range hood because we use all the appliances. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Oh, and the touch faucet and the quartz. Beauty. Can you speak about fillers? And what do you do when you are installing cabinets and dishwasher stove that doesn't have a cabinet next to it? Yikes. Okay. Well, if there's nothing next to it, if it's open, your dishwasher needs a dishwasher panel. Usually, if there's a stove that's on an end, that's nothing on the end after the stove. It's just the stove. They don't. The reason there's a dishwasher panel is because countertop goes over a dishwasher and can end and tie into a panel, but it doesn't go over a stove, and so that panel would just be sitting there, flopping around or just eventually fall apart. So, if you're doing fillers are very important. So anytime a cabinet butts to a wall, you should have a filler. You should have a filler for a wall cabinet and even a base cabinet that allows you to open the door so that you get the full 110-degree opening without the handle smashing into the wall. If it can, 110 degrees is the normal opening for a standard European style hinge. There's different ones, but that's generally around what they're at. And so, but in any case, if not, at least get something that's an inch, 5/8, 3/4, whatever it is, enough that you can square up that cabinet because your wall is probably not square plumbing level. So definitely put fillers in so that you can have good opening of cabinets. But next to a dishwasher, you're going to need a panel. But if the dishwasher is next to a wall and there's an opening, you can still just put a panel in there and tie that into countertop and nobody be the wiser. If a stove is there, it's kind of a tricky situation you have to play around with. If it's 3 inches or something like that, it's kind of a funny little space. So there's no real great solution there. And I would say in that case, maximize the counter space that's on the other side of the stove, and you're gonna have to butt that thing to the wall. I do recommend having some kind of heat resistant panel on the wall, but there's no real. It's a great question, but there's not a real great solution when a stove is butted up against a wall, or if it's just on the end of a run and you don't have room for a cabinet. It's something you just might have to live with. But if you have room for even 9 inches, which I know is quite a bit of space, at least that would be the smallest I would go. Hope that helped. I don't know. There you go. You're living my life. I've had laminate as well, and I want porcelain. Find that corner fillers really eat up your space. Corner fillers. Well, if you're blocking off a corner, you're going to need at least, well, it kind of depends, 3 inches max. You can probably get away with 2 inches as long as there's clearance for drawers and whatnot. So it depends on the space that you're losing. Still, it's the best way to do a corner. Block those things off. Cool. Yeah. Chat. I think we'll work with you a bit with my design. Cool. Yeah. I love your website. Thanks for answering. I made 2 12-inch cabinets around the stove. But the dishwasher is an issue. Oh, yeah, 12-inch cabinets. That's fine. I mean, you go in. Is it proper landing space? No, but it's what you can do, and having something is better than nothing. The dishwasher is an issue. Yeah, awesome. Reach out, and I'm glad to help. Put in more drawers. You don't have to worry about much about fillers. No, that's right. Or you can put a cabinet on the backside if it's a peninsula. You can do corner drawers. Lots of different ways to do corners. I mean, just go get a Lazy Susan and throw it in there, right? Kara, what do you think about the corner drawers, though? Seriously? How popular are they? Do you do them a lot? Do you see them a lot? I hardly ever get asked about corner drawers. Like, rarely. Yeah. I wonder if it's one of those things that's like a particular demographic or part of the world are more popular. I'd love to know. Worry about hardware clearance, doing a full overlay drawer. Normally, it depends on the system, but they have this system where the drawers like pop out and then pull out, so they clear everything that's going by. We didn't want to go into debt for our kitchen, so we splurged on things like sink and faucet. Countertops are on sale at IKEA for $60 a piece for 2 lengths. Wow, that's a good deal. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know. There's no right or wrong thing to splurge on, like you splurge on the thing that you really want. Same with anything, really. So, as long as you're happy in the end. I did a cab on backside, no corner cabinet. Oh, nice, nice. But this cabinet has to be out due to large overlay countertop for seating. Yeah, if there's going to be seating there, it might be an issue. Could still do it. I was thinking, I'm sorry, Kara. I was thinking of more of drawers next to appliances, not in corners. Yeah. Well, that's definitely, I agree totally. But I still want to know your opinion on corner drawers. I don't know. That's good. Anytime you can have a drawer, the drawer pulls out, easy to access, so it's good. Thumbs up. I like drawers, so wherever they're at, they're good, even if they're in a corner. I can discuss corner cabinets till I'm blue in the face because I have such an opinion about them, and I get into arguments all the time about blocking off corners until people see it, and then they kind of judge for themselves whether or not it's a good way to do it or not. Sometimes it's not, and that's okay. As long as it's accessible, that's the main thing. How's my tan doing? Depends which way I go here. I'm like right shiny. I should get some makeup for this. Oh well. Not today. All right, we're gonna close out the evening. It's been an hour. So much thanks to everyone who's been on. Yes, I've affected somebody. Thank you so much. No corners. I'm telling you, it's a good way to do it. Is there anything out there for a corner appliance garage in the cabinet to raise the counter? Is there anything out there for a corner appliance garage in the corner in the cabinet to raise the counter. I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say. So you have a corner wall cabinet with an appliance garage. You want to raise the counter. You mean something like a lift? Is that what you mean? I don't know what you mean. All right. We'll have to get back to that one. Happy New Year, everyone. 45 degree. Oh, 45 degree. Okay. Oh, here's a comment that I didn't see this name. Mark. Hi, my first live I caught. Well, I'm glad I didn't. Oh, hey, yeah. Didn't you you emailed me earlier, right? Yeah, Jackie too. Sweet. I have a 1949 house convert to all electric in the 70s. Cool. On a corner, can you make them like a corner sink but with drawers? So, first of all, I don't know what camera to look at, so I keep looking at the other one that's up here. Thanks for jumping on. I'm just about to leave, and so I'm glad that you didn't miss it because, yeah, it's awesome that you came on. So let me just look at this question for a second. Everyone else, I'm going to jump off of here in a second, but you can stay on as long as you want. Oh, sorry. Okay, my first. Okay, the house 949 converted to all electric in 70s. On a corner, can you make them like a corner sink but with drawers? Yes, you can. So I think what you're talking about is corner drawers, which I was chatting with Kara about here. Kara, I'm just think it's Kara. It could be Kira. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, by the way. You can make a corner sink. You can do it a couple different ways. You can 45 degree the cabinet and with just a standard drawer bank, and then just 45 it. It's on a 45 degree angle, and it just ties in with fillers on both sides to everything else, and just a standard drawer bank. So the only space you're losing are the triangles that it's making from the 45, and then a little bit in the back. So you can do it that way. You can also just get a 90 degree corner drawer system. That's another way you can do it. So yeah, you can do either one of those things in a corner. I hope that answers your question, but thanks so much for jumping on. I really do appreciate it. It's awesome. Kira saying you just need to make a hidden compartment in the blocked off corner so it is not wasted space. So what? It's wasted. It's the most inaccessible space known to man. So let's block it off. Don't worry about wasting it. I have no problem with making a hidden compartment, though. It's a good plan. So you can get access to it. No problem with that. Anna, Happy New Year. I just got my backsplash installed this week and just need a few little touch-ups to get my kitchen done. Love and so happy. Yours is so cool. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I can't wait to see the finished results. That always gets me super excited when I see those things. So thanks, Anna. Appreciate you. Amy and I were looking at coming your way for vacation too, by the way. 45 degree is what I was thinking. Safe space. Yeah, I think it doesn't happen often, to be honest with you. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I don't do it very often. Put a 45 degree corner cabinet on a corner, like a 45 a cabinet, sorry. I don't know if it saves any space. Yeah, there's some pros and cons to it, and I've done it in the past, but not a lot. So I guess what it does, it would make that corner situation maybe the most usable because there's just a drawer bank there. And then I'd have to calculate how much actual cubic inches are being lost. That's a good one. Thanks for that. Yeah, and a corner lift would be ideal if you don't have any space. A $9,000 corner lift would work very well. I did a video on one, actually. You can check it out on the channel. I think they're awesome. So that I would go for if I had money to splurge. Yeah, it is interesting. It works. You have to sit down and see how much Space is wasted. The only issue you have, it's best to go with stone, so you can just tie the countertop all one level. If you have laminate, that's not the best case because you have to, um, it creates this shelf, triangular shelf in the background, in the back, because of the backsplash of the laminate. Though there is a way you could actually just order a 48-inch depth bar top and cut this shape out of it to put in there. But that's very expensive. But anyway, all right, everybody. Love you all. Thanks so much for watching tonight, and we'll catch you next Wednesday night for more kitchen content, more chatting about kitchens, and just having fun on here. I really do appreciate all of you. Definitely check that thumbs up on the way out. And if you are considering renovating your kitchen this year, where 57% of you are saying that you are, I hope that my content can help you do that better, and that you have an awesome kitchen when you're done. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you hopefully on the next one. And yeah, have an awesome rest of your week.